This is the plaintiff, Timothy Downey. He says he owns a landscaping company and serviced 2 of the defendant's properties, and the hack refuses to pay him. She just stopped paying his invoices without warning. She never canceled their contract. The work was performed, and he's owed every penny of the $856 he's suing for. This is the defendant, Misty Jakimchuk. She says the plaintiff never came to the house to perform the work he was contracted to do for 3 weeks in a row, but charged her just the same. The other property, he was supposed to come 4 times a month and only came 2 times per month, but tried to charge her the full amount. She then sent him a letter to terminate because he was ripping her off. She doesn't owe him a penny more than she paid, and she thinks the judge will agree. She's accused of cutting a landscaper down.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff's owned a landscaping company got stiffed by the defendant, but she says he was a slacker. It's the case of the grass isn't always greener.
Thank you, Douglas. Modern View Landscaping Incorporated, represented here by Timothy Downey, and who's the gentleman to your right?
T.J. Downey, my son.
Okay. You are suing Misty pronounce it for me.
Jakimchuk.
Jakimchuk and Jeff Jakimchuk, and you have power of attorney for your husband,
Yes,
Jeff?
ma'am.
For $856 in lawn maintenance for 2 properties which you have not been paid for. Tell me what's going on.
Well, I'll let T.J., my son, do most of the talking because he's
Okay.
the guy actually doing all the work.
Okay.
So we did the neighborhood, and I believe it was Jeff's parents actually came out and spoke with me directly about getting their lawn cut. So we did that property for 4 years, and they also had a rental property that maybe after a few cuttings, they told us to do that one as well, the parents. So come 2016, I sent out all my contracts in February. I received notice back that the parents had passed away, and Jeff Jakimchuk would be taking over both properties.
They both passed away at the same time?
Yeah, and it was his grandparents.
It was his
Grandfather passed away in September, and then grandmom passed away in December.
Okay. So you continue to do the 2 properties, and how often would you go to both properties? Every week?
Every week. We provide a weekly maintenance
All right, and so
service.
then what happened?
We sent out the first few invoices, meaning a month or 2 passed, got a payment. Sent out the next few invoices, month or 2 passed, received a payment. Sent out 3 more invoices without a payment, and we got contacted by Misty saying
Okay.
that she was at the property and hasn't seen anybody over there. I've personally been on the properties and didn't see any car, really any sign of anything. I thought they were trying to rent the property out. One time I saw somebody there, and it was an older woman.
Okay.
So
Wait, so when you get that call from her, what month is it?
probably November, August or November. Do you remember?
August or November?
It was actually November and December.
All right, but you were saying that you had been there in August and that you hadn't seen anybody there in the time you were there in August.
Correct. For 3 weeks, we didn't have anyone that showed up.
Well, but did you leave the house at any point in time?
Well, no, I mean, we were there with an entire family. We've been spending the past year going through grandmom and grandpop's things and taking our time, all the photos, all the history. So we've been there 17 times in the past 12 months. We've flown from Florida and spent a great deal of time there. And we'd actually called numerous times because we wanted to request them doing additional things, like picking up the sticks out of the yard instead of cutting the grass around the sticks. And then when we were there in July and August, and we'd been there for 3 weeks, for the second 3-week trip that we had taken and not seen anyone, we canceled the services after that.
Okay, so when did you cancel the services?
The end of August.
And
we still paid for June, July, and August. Even at that point, we already knew that they weren't showing up
How did you
there.
cancel the services in August?
Well, I left numerous messages, and we never got any phone calls back, and I'd sent a letter in August. I do not have that letter with me. My computer was stolen. I could have typed one up, but I didn't want to be dishonest and not bring the actual letter.
Well, no, you couldn't have typed one up because that would have been dishonest.
Right, absolutely.
Like, don't
But it
say,
was-
hey, I could have lied to you, but I didn't. Like that.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
kind
mean
of
it like
assumed that
that.
nobody lies to me.
So she wasn't there when he supposedly did the work. Does she have to pay him?
You know, I think it depends if she had some type of visual proof.
Well, she says, I have visual proof, and he says, I don't care. He said, Well, they did, but it's unclear because it's over a period of months.
Okay, so that's tough. You know, it's like I always tell my son here, you know, if you're going to do a job, you got to do your best.
You tell your son.
Try your best, yeah.
Your son is unconscious right now.
Yeah, if you're going to sleep, you sleep with the best of them. It's as simple as that.
This kid is really adorable. How old?
He's 4 weeks as of today.
How on earth do you have this much hair at 4 weeks?
Yeah, it's the
You
opposite.
realize for this kid, oh.
No, I'm balding, so he...
Oh, dude, I worry about your future.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
So according to you, you dismissed them in August.
Correct.
Okay. And
I have
according to
pictures
you,
showing
you
the
were
yard.
present in August. You have pictures showing how it looked in August?
Correct.
Let me
in
see.
July and August.
Okay.
So the first couple pictures you'll see were the last 2 weeks in July, and then there's pictures from the first 2 weeks, or the first week in August when we were there, and there's no difference in the grass. And he had stated to my husband that he was cutting our yard every 5 days, 5 to 6 days, and that's why we would get charged 5 times in a 4-week month. And they're on the desktop, and you can see the dates per picture on the desktop as well.
And according to you, you left numerous messages. Did you ever send any letters or anything like that, or emails?
The only letter I'd sent, because we had left numerous messages when we first hired them back, because we wanted things done, because when we'd go to visit, we would notice that the yard was being cut around just a few branches here and there, and you can even see the sticks. My son had taken them and all lined them up. Those branches had sat there for months. So we'd asked them.
Well, how do you know they were there for months?
Well, because it's the same sticks that have been there. We've been coming every month.
Okay.
We've made 17 trips to New Jersey in the past 12 months.
Okay.
So, and then when I contacted him again in June and left messages saying, hey, I've been here and I haven't seen you guys, and my husband wants to make sure that we can get this tree taken care of in the area that hasn't been cut, and I never got a phone call back. So when we went back in July and August when we were there with our family for 3 weeks, it was at that point that my husband called and he canceled the services. I also called and canceled. I said, I'm going to send a letter, and I'm not going to continue to chase you down to terminate the services. So then we continued.
And then you sent the letter for protection, and then you don't have a copy of the letter.
I know, I don't.
Yeah, that's when you send a letter certified mail.
Absolutely,
right?
100%. I should have done that.
It sounds like they were very unhappy and that they wanted to cancel your services. What do you think? Like, whether they're justified in being unhappy or not, it sounds like they were unhappy for a while and were trying to cancel your services. So
I checked the messages, and we never got any messages until I have a letter that's dated November 23rd.
So you get a letter from her finally?
I sent her a letter.
You sent her a letter. Let me see the letter you sent her.
I sent Jeff a letter.
You sent
saying,
Jeff a letter.
I'm not sure who this person Misty is, but she's questioning an invoice.
We didn't
I've
receive
never
a
met
letter.
her.
Okay, now hold on. How did you know okay, this is just a piece of paper with typing on it. It's the thing she said she didn't want to do. Where's your proof that you sent the letter?
That I don't know.
Oh, okay, we can't make fun of her then, can we? All right, so according to you, you canceled them.
Correct.
You tried canceling them, you left messages. You deny that she ever left any messages. Do you
Denied.
answer the phones too, or is this all his operation now?
We both, it's still mine. It's not all his
Okay.
yet.
Now, who was taking care of the lawn in August and September? The lawn's still growing, so who did you hire to take care of it
Well,
since you fired them?
Well, we didn't hire anybody. My husband and I didn't hire anyone. We were in
Well,
the
then who was
process
going to
of
be
the-
taking care of it? Who'd
You're
you think?
absolutely. The neighbors have all pulled in to help us. So
Excuse me.
Wait, just a second. They're still going there, so the neighbors didn't pull in to
No,
help
but
you.
when we got the invoice, we're like, why are they won't return the call. Why are they going and servicing the yard if they're not getting payment and there's no communication? It was really frustrating for us. We're in a process of 12 months of going through 17 times flying back and forth from Florida to New Jersey, trying to go through our family's entire life history. The landscaping was not a priority. It's $25
And I
a week.
understand that, but it's my only priority.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the
Yes.
case that's in front of me.
Absolutely.
So I get it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yes, I have, she said her neighbors, we actually cut her neighbors.
Yes, they do.
We cut 5 houses in the area. We cut August, September, October, November. We cut her neighbors as well as her. It's all documented here. All these people
And
paid.
on
What was
December-
it you said about your neighbors? That they
So-
were
yes,
pitching
and
in for your lawn? Because
we
they're
cut
not
the
pitching
grass.
in for their
No,
own lawns.
on
All right.
December 10th, they actually
Stop a
both
second.
sides
So
of
now
the
everybody
neighborhood.
stop. So now the two things that I need you to show me. The first, you can't show me that you canceled them. So the second is they're not coming every week. I have a question for you. Your dad, right?
Yes.
Dad, this was all his account? Like, that's not something that you would show up for?
Oh, I showed up occasionally, especially towards the end of the summer. We had an individual get hurt. So I filled in. I actually cut the house once, probably in August of that house, that particular house.
Okay.
Also, she said she had video. We said, oh, great. Show us the video. We'll come over. We'll look
Wait,
at
she
it.
said to you that she had video?
Yes,
Yes.
TJ can
To
talk more
prove
about
that
this.
what?
that we weren't showing up.
And then you said, awesome, let me see
I
the
said,
video.
I have
Yeah,
Excel
actually-
dates. Any of those dates that you pick, I'll come over, take a look at them. If we're not there, I'll pay you for the services.
And
Well,
what happened?
that's actually not what was said. Within the first 30
Well, did
seconds.
you, wait, but you said you had video that, of
I
them-
did. So, and the conversation actually went when once I said, look, I have video, and if you want to come sit here and go through the video, we can, but you're going to see yourself not there cutting the grass.
Well, why
and the
didn't you
grass
bring me
growing.
the video
Well,
so I could see
well,
him not
I don't
cutting-
have that any longer. We only have it for X amount of days, and this was an
What
issue
days
we
does
were
she have it
dealing
that we could go
with
look at
6
it?
months ago. I'm dealing with the death of family members and trying to get.
No,
so,
I understand,
but
but here's the problem. I just wish you'd find, even you know that this is a very hard, messy
Yes.
thing to prove. So in August, according to you, you just paid for everything and just said, okay, out of my hair. So that's the thing I really need you to prove, that you fired them, because now I have no proof of that, and I have them saying, I still went. You yourself know how hard it is to prove they didn't go. And you've got somebody who has actually been through this with landscapers.
Right.
Because when they know you're an absentee owner, people get a little lazy. All right, maybe they go and they do a little bit here, a little bit there, but then I have this problem myself. So I am you have no idea how sympathetic a judge you have. But man, lady, give me
understand.
something to hold on to.
I understand.
So I'm going to order you to pay the $856 verdict for the plaintiffs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, even though she was very, very sympathetic with the defendant, the judge has found for the plaintiff in this case, you know, it's evidence. You
Yes.
just didn't have it. And that was your problem here.
It was my problem, absolutely. I should have been more prepared today.
All right. Sorry about that.
That's okay,
Hope you
thank
learned a
you.
lesson here.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Here comes Mr. Downey, who's the plaintiff in this case. Long time waiting. You're going to get your money. Okay.
Yes, I'm going to get my money. But I'm here for all landscapers. When they've done wrong, they should come to court and get their money.
Okay, good. Well, congratulations. All right.
Thank you.
Sorry you had to go through so much trouble. Okay, that's it. Harvey?
I mean, lesson here is so simple. You have to stay on top of the people you hire.